why were you the only U.S. senator that voted against the Patriot Act?
I took a very unusual step. I read the bill. You know, I voted to go into Afghanistan after we modified the language in a cautious way. I knew that we had to have a bill to update the anti-terror and law enforcement laws to a degree. There were things like, if you could get a legitimate wiretap, the law didn't allow you to get a voicemail, because the law didn't know what a voicemail was. Of course, they're just about to become obsolete anyway. Again, but it was a legitimate updating, extending the statute of limitations for bioterror crime, things like that. The problem is, though, as I read the bill and worked with the ACLU and other members of Congress, is that we saw that essentially they stuffed in the bill what Robert Novak called, a very conservative columnist, called at the time an old wish list of the FBI. Things that never would have passed in pre-9/11, being able to get your library records, even though you did absolutely nothing wrong. Being able to enter your home when you're on vacation for a so-called sneak and peek search, and not have the government tell you they were there for quite some time. In fact, they stuffed that in there and they used it all right, but not once for several years for a terrorism investigation. So other agendas were pursued. I refused to just let the bill go through. It should have been fixed, and it still hasn't been fixed under President Obama, as well as President Bush. It is overkill and not necessary to go after terrorists to not make those changes. Much of it should remain, but some of it still needs to be changed. That's why I voted against it. I couldn't justify it.